I want to. So there's a lot of pushback, from the conservatives. They're not happy. They don't want you to get student loan debt relief. They want college to be really expensive. That's their thing. It's not fair, Lacey. It's really not fair that you and me and 44 million other people are going to get some debt relief and have more money to pump into the economy. So I just, let's just look at. I mean, they're talking about it, and maybe they have some valid points. So let's look. What is Fox saying? What did the Fox say, Lacey? It'll be great. Trust me.
All right, let's see what the Fox had to say.
Yep, we will. All right.
Welcome back to the Big Saturday Show. The White House is spending a lot of time touting its new student loans handout plan.
Is that better?
Not a lot of time answering questions about who will foot the bill.
Is the White House going to release a cost estimate at some point?
Yeah, we've talked about that. So we're.
I want to qualify this. I know who will foot the bill, Lacey. Do you know?
Who's that going to be, Duncan?
The government.
Going to share what that's going to look like.
We all know who will be paying for it. It's taxpayers. And as the Biden administration avoids questions, a new Penn-Wharton model finds the final price tag could exceed $1 trillion over 10 years.
So I want to qualify this. So I read the Penn-Wharton model.
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, so they said it would be $329 billion if everybody got the 10,000. Could be closer to 6. So when he says $1 trillion, he's rounding up, or he's adding a bunch of other shit that's not factored in. But just to give you a comparison, we're looking at, even if it was $1 trillion, right? You're looking at 100 million a year, 100 billion. Sorry. The defense budget, I think, is 780 or 90 billion right now, for the Pentagon, and the Pentagon only asked for 730, so they gave them an extra 60. So I mean, if you'd have just given the Pentagon what they asked for and put that other 60 in, it would all be fine. On top of that fact, this idea that taxpayers are going to pay it is bullshit. I mean, some tax money is going to go to it, but it's like, who doesn't? Everybody who pays taxes, your tax money is going to go to shit you don't want. I mean, do you approve of everything the government spends your tax money on, Lace?
No. You know what? If they gave me some sort of thing where I could vote for where I wanted to divert my personal allotments, that'd be great. But
But the world, it doesn't work that way. I mean, it's not how a government works. But yeah, so it's just kind of a ridiculous thing. Plus, nobody's taxes are going up because of this. Nobody's getting taxed more because of this. I want to qualify this. It's an executive order. So, as a poli-sci major.
So, how's that work?
Let me explain.
Give us the elevator speech version of how it works. No dissertations.
Congress controls the purse. So, Congress is the only one that can raise taxes. This is an executive order from the president. The president cannot raise your taxes.
Because he's not Congress.
Right. Elevator speech, done, sold. Game day.
That was good.
Yeah,
I'll have to check the timing on that, but that was kind of like a 30-second elevator speech.
Yeah,
all right,
I dunked that. I dunked that motherfucker.
Do you want to go back in the foxhole? I suppose we could.
Yeah, we should. Yeah.
Let's go in the foxhole.
Oh, because they're brilliant. Yeah.
Rachel, we're sitting right now at $30+ trillion in debt, and every penny of it was spent in bills that were allegedly paid for.
Almost all of it racked up by Republican presidents. Want to point that out?
Right.
When they got passed. How do we get here? What do we do?
No, it's crazy. And, we're creating a culture, I think, among young people. I think this just sends such a bad message. And there's all these young people, you just see them. I actually met a guy once. Sean and I were young. We were struggling to pay off our bills. I think we had like 5 or 6 kids at the time. And he just said, he was some hippie, he's like old friend of my husband's. And he said, I'm not paying it. I'm sticking it to the man. Well, in this case, the man is a
because only hippies are going to not want to pay, and only hippies are going to stick it to the man, right?
Well, God, her thinking is so okay. It's all these young people, and it's the culture of these young people. Now, let me talk about somebody who's no, but now let me talk about somebody I knew years ago who's now my age, as an example of the young people today. That's what she did. I mean, it's like her thinking is so muddled. Okay, but yeah, no, he's a hippie. Doesn't care. Hippies are losers. We hate the hippies.
I don't know. I like the hippies. I think they're all right.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah. But, oh, God. Anyway, it's like, well, we had 5 kids and da-da-da-da-da.
Listen, there is nothing wrong with a yurt. I'm just saying. I'm
not knocking it. I think.
No, I didn't say you were, but I feel like she is. I feel like.
Oh, no, she totally is. But, who's really paying for this, Lace? It's the welders. The welders.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
The welder. Let's go back a second. She'll explain this. You don't understand. You don't understand. That's the problem. Is
my husband's, and he said, I'm not paying it. I'm not, I'm sticking it to the man. Well, in this case, the man is a welder. Who has 4 kids, or it's a waitress, a single mom. This is who they're sticking it to, and then there's these self-entitled, and of course they say, well, we're a prep.
So, correct me if I'm wrong here. Don't most welders have to have a certification?
Yes, Duncan, they do. And actually, let's talk about welders for just a second, because I happen to know 3 of them off the top of my head. Maybe more if I stop and think about it, but at least 3 off the top of my head. And do you know what they did to become welders and get that certification?
I know.
They went to a program at a college. Now, not all colleges have this, but where I lived at the time, there was a community college that had a very, very good welding program, and that was where they went. And do you know how they paid for that?
Well, obviously they paid for it from the hard work.
At the end of the rainbow, right?
The hard work they did. They pulled themselves up by their bootstraps.
Oh, yes, the bootstrap theory. Well, those bootstraps got their rent paid, but what got their tuition paid was their student loans.
Student loans probably paid their rent, too.
So, I mean, probably at least part of it, because it was a pretty high cost of living city comparatively. Yeah. But regardless.
So these welders.
I think these welders aren't angry. I think they're jumping up and down because they probably have some student loans hanging out there from their training.
So these welders are going to get
they're about to get wiped out, or at least partially wiped out.
So a lot of these welders are going to get this student debt relief, meaning they're stealing from the single mother waitresses. So the welders. So the welders are So it's really the waitresses that are getting screwed here.
Why are we assuming that these waitresses do not have any college education and will not benefit from this? Because
why are we assuming these waitresses aren't in college?
Some of these waitresses might be in college, right? Some of them may have been in college in the past and not finished, or be taking like semesters off, right? And going back, because goodness knows I've known people who have had to do that because of their own financial needs, right? Or some of these waitresses might have children that are in college or approaching college age, and they might be, trying to think of how they can help their own kids out. They might have in college kids that have student loans out. So they might be pretty excited for that.
Well, I don't have children. I'm angry at these waitresses that have kids. I'm paying for their kids to go to school. I am paying for their kids to go to school. I am paying taxes for public school for their kids. I don't have kids. Why am I paying for their kids? I'm the one getting screwed here. She's such a freaking idiot. That's such an idiot, dude.
My paycheck, I appreciate it.
Oh my God, somebody else is getting a benefit.
So
call the fucking police. Jesus Christ.
What I'm gonna say. I'm put this out there, and I don't mind throwing myself out there in this way.
Go for it.
I've thought a lot about this anger about something somebody else gets that I don't get thing, and I do understand, a certain amount of just jealousy factor in life, because it happens. Sometimes we do feel that, but now there's this whole big push about, community colleges being free. Maybe getting the first 2 years of a person's education free, or maybe that's all the education you need, depending on what you're doing, right?
I'm down with that.
Transfer into a university, etc. Well, that was not an option. I mean, people went to community colleges when I was in college, and sometimes they got some credits taken care of a little bit cheaper that way, certainly. But it wasn't free, and so that wasn't even an option for me. But you know what? I'm really excited about the idea that some of my friends' children could receive an opportunity like that, get a first couple of years for free. That's a huge advantage for them, and I'm not mad about it.
Well, I'm a patriot. I'm all for anything that makes us more powerful as a nation. So I want more educated kids. I'll throw my money in the bucket for that one. I mean, if we have smarter and smarter people, I'm all for it. I mean, my parents didn't push me to go to college because they wanted me to be an idiot. So, I mean, but it's just one of these things where it's like, and the other thing is too, is this whole, like you said, this jealousy about somebody getting a benefit that I'm not getting. I'm sorry, they're Christians. Isn't like the 8th or 9th commandment not to covet? Amendment, the commandment not to covet. I mean, Jesus Christ, these people.
Or, and I think the pandemic, Charlie, has exacerbated this because people just get used to getting free stuff, and that's when and they got used to sitting home. And I'm really just worried about the long-term cultural consequences, because the greatness of America has always been her work ethic, the work ethic of her people.
And I want to stop her because I didn't really pay attention to this the first time I watched it. So her whole argument is there's a cultural aspect about work ethic. So if people are getting benefits that help them out and help them live a better life, that's bad because it'll harm their work ethic. So the more suffering there is, right, the more desperation, the more poverty is better, because then people will work harder. That's basically the argument she just made. Am I wrong there?
Now, if we're given a little bit of free money, we're going to get lazy.
And we're looking at a woman who's probably never really worked a real job in her life. I mean, I bet you dollars to pesos. Mommy and daddy handed her pretty much everything. I bet you this job was handed to her from a friend or a parent. I mean, it's fucking amazing. And she's like, nope, see, you're going to be lazy. You're not going to work.
I feel like laziness is always an argument for why resources should not exist. And this could go down a whole rabbit hole, which I won't spend a lot of time on. But anytime there is somebody in the political arena that wants to give a resource to people in order to help them to maybe get out of a certain situation, get a better situation happening.
Right.
The argument is always thrown out there that it's going to make people lazy. Well, there's always going to be a certain amount of people that really just kind of are lazy by nature, because some people are. But
sure,
I don't know that getting resources change that. Like, we're either, I don't know, I'm going to throw it out there, like, some people are just intrinsically motivated, some people maybe are not, and I don't know that offering resources changes that.
Well, I would disagree on this point. So, like, if, let's say I had 2 kids And one kid I didn't help out, didn't enroll in school, let them do their own thing, didn't teach them anything, didn't really give them any affection or attention, anything, right? And the other kid I gave everything to. Love, attention, affection, best schools, taught him sports, spent a lot of time with them. Of those two kids, which one's more likely to be hardworking and productive? And which one's more likely to be, a criminal? You think the kid that I gave everything to, that I gave every opportunity to, is going to go to fucking to a life of crime? No, they're going to go to fucking college. They're going to succeed. The kid that was fucking neglected and kicked to the curb is more likely to do whatever it takes to survive. And that might be being lazy. That might be committing crime. I think when you throw resources at people, it changes the whole fucking game. I mean, this is the whole Maslow and the hierarchy of needs argument, right? Which I really prescribe to, which is if everybody, right, were given the basic things, food, shelter, clothing, healthcare, education, just the basics, right? If that was just provided, you didn't have to fight for it. You didn't have to struggle for it. You didn't have to work for it. It was there. Well, then what's left?
So I'm already safe and clothed and fed
and housed.
And
no matter what happens, what happens, I'm safe, right? So what's my next move? Education, bettering myself, being more productive, right? Contributing more, right? And then of course the higher point of what he calls self-actualization, to the point where you just do based on what you want and you desire, not from need or desperation, but from actual desire, right? And that would sort of be the heightened point. And that's the thing, is they don't want that. That's what she just argued. No. You should be desperate and needy, and you should be begging. You should be working your ass off 100 hours a week and begging us for fucking scraps.
So
it's the
all. When you put it like that, you want us desperate and needy so we can do all those crap jobs that you don't want to do? Is that what it is?
That's what she's saying.
You can give us too many resources, and we have the opportunity to already have a sense of safety, and we can aspire to something else. Maybe we won't want to do those crap jobs that you don't want to do.
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
Is that what we're saying?
That's what she's saying. She's saying if you give Oliver Twist the second bowl of soup, when he says, please sir, can I have some more? No, he's just going to be lazy and worthless. No, you need to beat him for asking. He should not be asking for more, ever.
Wow. You're violent today, Duncan.
I know.
all of your examples are super violent today. You're beating up Oliver Twist.
Don't beat up Oliver Twist. Don't beat up Oliver.
Okay.
I like
save Oliver Twist.
I like that book. I like The Artful Dodger. I like him. He's slick. All right.
Taking pride in
taking
care of yourself.
Taking care of yourself, your personal responsibility, absolutely.
Yeah, Katie. Obviously, Karine Jean-Pierre is not a Wharton grad, but listen to this. Listen to this quote from her.
It's a very targeted plan that's going to give relief to 90% of Americans that are making less than $75,000 a year. That is important. This is a campaign promise that the president made and kept.
That's
and
true.
He went beyond, not just the 10,000, but up to 20,000.
The idea of giving $1 trillion back to the innocent American taxpayer, not a bad idea. This doesn't seem to be like the smartest way to do it.
This is a redistribution.
Well, I want to qualify that. He just went. He just kind of fucking coughed it up, didn't he? The idea of giving $1 trillion back to the taxpayers is not a bad idea. After you just agreed with the woman who said it was.
Yeah. So, what's your opinion, really, man?
Yeah. What the fuck is? They're giving it to the wrong taxpayers. That's the problem. You need to give it to the welders.
This is a redistribution.
Redistribution
from wealthy degree holders to the working class.
Okay, that's bullshit. You can't get this unless you make under $125,000 a year. Are you telling me that people that make under 125,000 are wealthy?
Like, what is she talking about?
I know. Well, she's blonde.
Hey, now.
This is, it is not the
Sorry.
numbers that she is talking about. It's going to cost $1 trillion. It means that you now owe more to the government every year before you're able to take home.
Your taxes aren't going up. You don't owe more.
Your money to pay for your own family. What about the family that wants to save money to send their own kid to college? What about the family that sacrifices? There was that famous video of Elizabeth Warren when she was on the campaign trail with that father. He said, look, my friends were buying boats and fancy cars, and I was saving for my daughter's college. Am I going to get my money back when you forgive their loans because they took them out? And she said, absolutely not. Yep. And you had... First
off, that was a trap. Second off, yeah. I mean... So what? So you spent the money to pay for your kid to go to college. Great. That's good for you. I think that's wonderful. But then somebody else gets their debt forgiven and you're like, well, that's not right. Is that just me, or am I fucked up on this?
No. I mean,
it's just...
I don't know. We've gotten maybe a little bit too much. If it happens for one, it has to happen for all. Like, does this go to the land of the participation award or something? Like,
I don't know what their deal is. We'll give this another minute.
The White House is trying to make an argument that people need breathing room. They're saying people should take out mortgages now after they get their student loan debt forgiven when they haven't paid that back. And they keep saying that we're in a good economy, that we're not in a recession, that COVID is essentially over, especially when it comes to the border. So that message does not compute with them saying that people are not in a good economic position to pay back their student loans.
So for a guy that calls himself...
Well, that's... I don't know. Do you want to watch more? This is like... It's going to be the same shit.
Yeah, let's
move on. Let's move on. So the other one is...